this morning, but we want a first-hand, perspective so that we get to understand the issues better. I mean, give us your perspective on what transpired.
I don't, it's a shame for me to keep doing this, but I guess I have to because it is a civic situation now. I have a duty to let our people know. I was openly beaten and dragged, kidnapped first under duress from a public facility. An almost 60-year-old man being dragged through the streets of Benin City, Edo State, my state. And recorded live for being an obaseki, for going to a public function of Edo people and saying Edo Atokbe. It's just because I talk, say Edo Atokbe. So for me to come to talk, what I want to, I think even the over-emphasis on speaking English and English may not get this through to many of our people, particularly those who I live amongst, because I don't live in Jare, in Benin. I live with the street. I live in New Benin. I live almost inside the New Benin market. And people have been asking again and again. Some still don't believe. Some people even think it's a movie that they were watching. And the persons who did this said clearly that they've been sent by the palace, to publicly humiliate me. We all know who they are. Kabaka Adun, who everybody calls Kapotwe. Osayande Obakawaye. Bege Bobizwa Adun. Samede Nomules. Uerios. Julius Imafo. Uyigwe Obazeon. Then Samir Fan Ujo, who everybody calls a cis guy. Then drag me naked, beat me. They're not even naked. At first, when they carry me, people food there. The people when they play ball, and boy, I go, not just say I go play ball, I go play ball. They might people when they follow me play ball every year. I go give them rice. They do Christmas. Please, everybody get 10 kg, 10 kg bag of rice. They do Christmas. They drag me from the whole of, from first junction for Ibisan to the Tiagbaba, for front of Oli Arosa, beat me, make me kneel down, tear my cloth, tear my shirt, all the video full. The one I'm happy for, we say, I don't see the video where they just totally naked me for Ring Road, just before we reach the gate of the museum. For front of Oredo, they started the video again. I know what they kill me. I beg them. Now maybe this Pedro obaseki. And they say, now me they want to start before they will come begin face every other obaseki. I reached there. I lay down. They beg. The only thing when you pay me now be 2 days, 3 days don't pass. Today now Wednesday, now Sunday this thing happen. Till today, I dey respect palace. They respect my people. I know they cause government, I know they cause anybody. Till today, 3 days don't pass. Nobody for palace don't come say, Pedro, no be we send them. When I reach the palace there, some chief come, all of them see am. One of them even talk say, he say today na that day na Holy Arosa day they celebrate. So they go see if I be Oyomba. Later they fit judge my case. They leave me make Oba go come back. Before Oba come drive pass, stop, see me, call somebody, one tall man. I hear name whether Adamu or something. I was begging Oba, talk with me. See me then, put me for one green hillock so in the convoy with policeman. Carry me go Oba Market police station. Where they come detain me around after 11 for money. I did that till they released me around 5. Commissioner come 3 times. First time come, see me I write statement. See somebody, the other police when carry me come already write statement. For my present, commissioner read that statement. It's make I write now. Come back. See, until you get clearance from, you won't get clearance from Palace or Oba first for the few release me. Third time you come, he say don't get clearance. Say Oba say no go press charges against me. Yeah, and they release me around 5. My biggest problem now, not be only the beat when they beat me, plus waiting my children they face. I get children. And my children not just only be the one when I born. I'm almost 60 now. I became a lecturer at the University of Benin at the age of 21 years. I get students when I don't teach. Some don't be directors, some don't be general for army. What I go tell them? Till now, Benin Traditional Council, now me be Pedro. Now me do Esiza. Now me be Pedro. Now me do Azagidi. Now me be Pedro. Now me do their idea when they use for WAEC for 10 years. They promote my people culture. Now me be Pedro. Now me do the Ihara when they did Awada, Obama, Medino, Wano Yakunedo, Obama, Fiakba, William Cololo, Willa. Yamu leketi riba no banima kamyo katuta yiro ka wano waredika. Na mi do that pre-song. Na mi do oba no boriri ne do no oba be yamu Anati me Pedro anati me oyumba. Who are those to declare people oyumba in Benin? Street urchins.
Doctor, we're going to be having Buja Network, Michael.
Yes.
And also the Lagos network. My colleague is also going to be asking questions. But let's quickly, because the issues are conflicting now. We have various versions of what transpired in the social media. Now, you said that before we come to what seems to be the nitty-gritty of the issue, the use of language, Edora Tokbe, instead of Obara Tokbe. I mean, I did semantics in school, the meaning of words and all that. Before we come to that, let's quickly come to where you said they were sent by the palace. What makes you feel that those guys were actually sent by the palace?
I wish you were a lawyer. In this situation, unfortunately, I also want. I didn't say they said they were sent by the palace. I didn't say that. You have seen the videos. They said in the video that they were sent by the palace. They said it in English, they said it in Pidgin, they said it in Edo language. I did not say. My statements I make are only statements after the fact of what they said. So that one is in the public domain. It is. But I had ab initio given the palace and all other relevant authorities, because they were alleged publicly, evidentially, on camera in videos I did not record. They were recorded by those who abducted and kidnapped me, assaulted and molested me. It's all in the public domain. So I don't want us to play on words and be semantic and asking versions. There are no versions. I am not here as a spin doctor. I just want the issues. So if in the public domain, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6 people are saying the same thing, it is called repeat motive. I will speak a little Latin. Say, vox populi, the vox Dei. The voice of those people are the voice of, is the truth, and the voice of God, that they were so sent. So the burden of proof and the burden of denial of saying does not lie in any other person or persons. You can hear, you're just showing Kapwekwe now, Osaze Adun, stating Albert unequivocally. And that is in the palace. Let me tell you, my brother, I grew up in that palace as a child. I grew up in that palace as a man. When police carry you in those days, you run to the palace because I will translate. It is the palace of the Oba that everything find peace and succor. So me entering the palace, the first thing I expect is a refuge. So if they said they were sent, because they did say Albert repeatedly, I am a man of peace, but I also understand, civis pacem para bellum. He that wants peace should be prepared for war. Now they repeatedly said that they were sent by the palace. They didn't mention any other thing. So for me, it wasn't political. I don't see it that way. People are spinning it the way they want. I insist on justice. And in doing that, the exoneration process and protocol should start from those who were accused of being the originators of this dastardly act, so that I will find peace within myself and peace for my family, my children, my biological children, my four children, my 2 sons and my 2 daughters. I'm so scared now. I'm holed up in a military facility. I've been in hospital since. I'm not a frail or fragile man. If any of you take the kind of elemental beating I did take, I'm not sure at the age of 59 plus, you will be. I am shaking, but I told myself I will go through this to the end. But the recuperation and public healing process must start with those who were accused of having originated the abduction or instructed the abduction of Pedro Obaseki. They also said in those videos that I am just the beginning, that it is a systemic, serial
the matter is that at a gathering in UK, you said Edora Tokbe, which means that long live the Benin people, instead of saying Obaga Tokbe. Now, let me ask the question: what was your intent when you said Edora Tokbe? What was the intention?
You see, anybody, it just shows the brazen illiteracy that seems to pervade the space of those who are saying this. When I also read the lexicon of all those persons who are saying some of those things online, the video is there. I had gone to the UK, not at the behest of Godwin Obaseki, the former governor, and I made that clear in my opening statement. And I told them I came there so that to settle the seeming misinterpretation of events that happened in 1897 to 1914, being confused with the events that happened between 1937 and 1952, more than 32 years after the death of my great-grandfather, Obaseki. That was why I went there to them, that to show the close relationship between Ovorame and Obaseki and our Obaseki, who is the for whom all of us are descended, and the children of Ogbedoyo. I explained it graphically based on works written and on the archives of the colonial office of the then British administration and the writings of James Watt and Pierre Maury Talbot. And I explained to them that Ovurame's sister, Etuom, was gifted to our Obaseki as wife. And that Ovurame, after the altercation of problems that happened while he was already in exile, to prove that he was, that Obaseki was representing Oimiame to Obaseki while he was in incarceration, while he was in exile. And that upon the coronation of Oba Eweka II, Egbobasemi, the son of Oba Ovurame, in March 1914, in May of that same year, less than 2 months later, he gifted the second daughter, Ebose, to Obaseki as wife. I now asked the question, if you are a betrayer, will you, as if you are betrayed, will you as a father give your daughter to your enemy? And that 3 Obas will gift their daughters to one man? All of us now in the public domain, we are great-grandchildren of daughters of 3 Obas. That was what I said. So when I finished, they clapped. So I wanted to say, like a normal situation, Oba Atokbe is almost like a generic, intuitive statement. But the Oba wasn't there. It was a gathering of Edo people. So I didn't started. I said, Oba, oh, okay, Edo ya Owayaga Atokbe, because they were seated there. So what I said was a direct reference to those gathered. Because in Benin, we all say Oba Atokbe. It is not a militant compulsion. It is a personal reference we have for the throne, because the monarchy is divine, even irrespective of whoever sits on it. Because human beings come and go. But the throne is the uburiri that makes that throne to be revered even by those who don't know the throne or who sits on it. That was what transpired. Because there is no king without subjects.
Let's have Abuja now. Abuja or Lagos. Yes. We have Abuja or Lagos also join us this morning on this issue. So, Mercy Elena, you may file in a question now so that the conversation goes on. Mercy.
Pedro Obaseki, I'm really sorry, first of all, for the humiliation. I mean, nobody should be humiliated like that. It is really dishuman and disheartening. You know, watching the video, it is really sad. I saw the video in Europe when you said Iviedu Atokbe instead of, okay, you wanted to say Oba Atokbe, then you just explain now, because I feel a lot of people miscalculated that statement, because you were about to say Oba Atokbe, then you just said Oba, then later you switched to Iviedu Atokbe. Now that you've made a lot of people understand that you wanted to say Oba Atokbe, but because the Oba of Benin is not there, I mean, the people there, they're the people of Edo State, then you switch to Iviedu Atokbe. Do you think, apart from that statement, because for somebody to be humiliated like this, it means there's actually a lot of things under the box that nobody's talking about, that probably we do not know about. Do you think that apart from that statement, is there any other thing that would make them treats you the way they treat you, like humiliated you. I mean, a person of your status, you're not supposed to be humiliated like that. And I hope and, you know, pray that those people are brought into book. So apart from that statement that you made, do you think there's any other thing that made these people humiliated you the way they actually did?
Let me say this clearly. That was why I started with the issue of complexity. It was clear. They also mentioned that after me, they will go after other obasekis, which means there is something larger than Edo Atokbe. Edo Matobaito, Edo Atokbe, yes. But Edo Atokbe, very yes. Because we say that every day, even if I greet you, domo, the person will reply, oh, we have it, it's a lingo. It is not, there's nothing there. So from what you just asked now, it's the question of complexity. And what is complexity about this? I am not accusing anybody of that. I don't want to ruffle the apple cart. So many Nigerians have asked an important and very fair question. I read it every day online. This is 3 days later. Why has there been no public denunciation of this attack, either from my palace, of my Oba, or from the Edo state government, whose primary responsibility is to protect lives and property? So I want to speak to that very carefully. That I am not accusing anybody of complicity, but their silence is accusing people and themselves of. So when a citizen like me, even if it's not me, anybody is abducted in public daylight, stripped naked, assaulted, kidnapped, and publicly humiliated, silence from institutions that are entrusted with the moral authority and public responsibility can be very deeply troubling and very deeply misunderstood. Silence, even when unintended, creates uncertainty, fear, and the impression that such acts not only were being tolerated, were actually ab initio so ordered. A simple, clear statement condemning the flagrant violence of my person, as asked for by everybody, by my professional groups, by Edo people across the world. I just kept quiet. Asked for by Amnesty International and the international dimension this has taken. Asked for by past presidents of Nigeria, many of whom have called me. I thank them. I thank Goodluck Jonathan. I thank all of them. I thank those who have shown interest. I thank some of the ministers. I thank my family. I thank Sarah reporters. I thank you. I thank all those on social media, Edo men and women, because it could be you, it could be you, it could be you next. If they could do it to Pedro, who carry beneath your head. It is me. So silence from those institutions.
Okay. All right. So Doctor, just yesterday, your family, that's the Obaseki Council, had a press, statement, a press release, and all that. So, in line with that, now, what is your next line of action?
My lines of action have started. I have taken the civil responsibility of petitioning appropriate authorities. I even see one of them, particularly the one to the IG, being flagged along. I also have included the Inspector General of Police. I have submitted all evidence available to me, including video recordings that were circulated to humiliate me. And my requests are simple and lawful: an independent investigation. Because I hear that the Edo State, very laughable, I hear that the Edo State Commissioner of Police, Edo State Police Command, has started an investigation. How can you, this is really funny, how can you be investigating yourself? Because part of it is unlawful detention. So they don't have the locals to investigate it. I know. So accountability for anyone found to have broken the law, anyone, the protection of myself, my family, even the threats that were made. I'm not calling for violence. I'm not a violent man. I'm not calling for unrest. I am calling for due process, transparency, and justice. Like I said earlier, this is passing parabellum. If you want peace, also be prepared for war. Nigeria is a constitutional democracy, and the dignity of the human person is sacred. And no one, no matter how powerful, is above the law. And me, I've been dragged underneath the very worst of the garbage that you can meet on any man. But I just try to make sure they didn't kill me, because dead men don't talk. But I'm not scared. Everybody knows Pedro is not scared. Because let me quote Poctoholo in James Hadley Chase, for those of us who are older. It's a fear is the key that unlocks the wallet of the rich. So I declare, I still believe in Nigeria. I still believe in this country. I believe in my bendiness, my Midwesternness, and my Edoness. So the dignity of my person is sacred, not only to me, but to every other. Because today, if it be you, if they don't want to Pedro, maybe one day, anybody will be deputy governor now, he just do anyhow, they go drag him for street. Any of them now will be House of Rep, House of Assembly, they feel say, they go drag you for street. I am the last victim because I hear discipline. I am pained. I am traumatized. I am ashamed. But I feel that I was it is the gods of our land that made them come for me so that this won't happen again. So in my mind, I just keep telling Pedro, it's humiliating. Or you could be the John the Baptist. Pedro, it is humiliating. They stripped you 3 days after Christmas. They stripped Jesus Christ, so they are also celebrating everywhere today. So,
all right, so let's quickly join my colleague in Abuja now to file in his question. Quickly, because of time, we have to do some other things. Abuja, over to you quickly.
I just want to start by saying simply that video, when we saw it, I actually thought it was a movie until I discovered that it's a reality. It's really a sad one. But I want us to start from when you made that comment in London, when you said, Edoa Tokbe. When you made that comment, is there anyone in that conference hall that approached you and say what you have said is wrong? Then two, you do the primary school football with your friends and at the same time do some humanitarian work, provided rice to some people to use for the festivity. And then in that process, the mob came and you were abducted. During that process, your friends that were there and those that were collecting rice from you don't resist the arrest, because I feel this to you can be done to any other person if it is not proper arrest. Why did they not resist? Those guys, were they armed? And what arm are they carrying? And the sad one, Don, is when I actually, on your knees, walking towards the chiefs. Why did they not stop that process and ask you to stand up and condemn that heinous act? These are my lines of question.
I will start from, I'll also answer them chronologically. Number one, if not that people are trying to read minutes that were not there to Edo Atokbe, which was a statement after the fact. I didn't say anything wrong. There was nothing wrong there. When I said it, go back and watch the video, people were clapping. Not a single person came to meet me, not one. Not until I actually got to Benin, really. I came back since the 12th, since the 11th, Thursday, 11th of December. I've been in Benin. So when I heard, and I said, oh, let me even send message to them in the palace. I said it when I was crawling. And I said, okay, if that is the case, let me go and tell about what. See, this is one cow. Don't be offended. Because it wasn't geared to offend anybody. Why should I offend anybody? I said it on my knees when they were on the street. That is one. Number two, when they came, I didn't even notice. We were playing football. The football had entered the halftime. So I just stepped out of the field to drink water. And the next thing I saw them were brandishing guns. No, they had not started recording then because the show had just started. If you even hear Kapwepwe, the diminutive, dwarfish, young street urchin, the one that was now became the spokesperson and talking to the chiefs, the one that was beating me straight on the street, was wearing the white. Yes, he was screaming, if I not my car, I will go shoot now. Go back to the video. That is the video inside the football field now. So the only thing that I don't want to start blaming those who might also be scared for their lives. And it wasn't a mob. You know, when you say a mob is a lot of people. They were
at the point that you just referred to Kapwepwe as a street urchin, because for us in the media, we try as much as possible to respect all personalities the way we respect your own personalities now. Anyway, we also understand that everything said on our program does not have anything to do with ITV. We give every person the opportunity to come and ventilate their opinion as the issue goes on. So the last is not heard on this issue because the Obaseki Council, the family yesterday just issued a press statement, and of course we've heard from Dr. Don Pedro Obaseki, his next line of action. So we want to say a very big thank you, Doctor, for joining us on the program.